All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Errol Spence Jr.'s response to some real silliness from a lightweight fighter named KEYSHAWN Davis over the Terence Crawford fight and statements that were made about Frank Martin. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, I'm going to talk about something a little bit fun in this video. KEYSHAWN Davis is out talking sideways about Errol Spence Jr. In what I think was a very misplaced, some misplaced statements. Errol Spence Jr. responds to it in a very funny fashion, but in a very professional manner and one that I really appreciate. But before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos, which we do on a daily basis in the live stream and the video format. So let's get into this, man. KEYSHAWN Davis is an up-and-coming fighter in the lightweight division. I do believe he's 6-0. He just was on the undercard for Shakur Stevenson's fight against Robson Conceição. I do believe that fight was in New Jersey, hometown of Shakur Stevenson. KEYSHAWN Davis put on a good performance, wound up getting the stoppage right. Looked good in the fight to me. I think he's definitely one of the best prospects in that weight class. But he goes out of his way and says something takes something personally that was said by Errol Spence Jr. about Frank Martin, and where there was almost no reason whatsoever for him to say it, right? So Errol Spence Jr., who we all know, and this is important to say because, you know, KEYSHAWN Davis continued to go on. Errol Spence Jr. is currently, hopefully, still in a negotiation with Terence Crawford to make a fight for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. And he is the promoter of a fighter by the name of Frank Martin. Frank Martin is a lightweight, just like KEYSHAWN Davis is a lightweight. Frank Martin is a little bit older. I do think Frank Martin's in his late 20s, has more fights than KEYSHAWN Davis, and at this point in time, I do believe is a little bit more advanced in his career than KEYSHAWN Davis is. But Errol Spence Jr. put out a tweet and said Frank Martin is like that, and KEYSHAWN Davis did not like that. KEYSHAWN Davis jumps on Instagram and starts going off on Errol Spence Jr. about how you're going to be mentioning my name and disrespecting me by saying what Frank Martin is, and you know I only got 6 fights, and you know, but yet you know I'm all in your mouth, and you know, and all that, and so you know I'm like that. Yeah, you know Frank Martin is like that. Yeah, I got you. I got something for you. Somebody that's like that. Terence Crawford is like that. Yeah, so Terence Crawford is like that, and then basically goes on to proceed and talking about how Errol Spence Jr. is scary and doesn't want to fight. Errol Spence Jr. is scary and doesn't want to fight Terence Crawford. Just absolute stuff that where I read the tweets and I was been thinking, where does KEYSHAWN Davis get this? Like, why would KEYSHAWN Davis think that Errol Spence Jr. is referring to him just by saying that Frank Martin is like that, right? I mean, Frank Martin is literally a contender, and KEYSHAWN Davis is a prospect. Those guys are at 2 different stages in their career. When Errol is talking about Frank Martin, he's talking about him getting fights against guys like Rolly Romero or guys like Isaac Cruz, guys that have more fights that have either fought for championships already or are right in line with fighting for championships, so that Frank Martin can get that fight And then he can move on to get a championship fight, maybe against, become the mandatory for one of Devin Haney's belts, or become a WBA mandatory for a fight with Gervonta Davis, right? Something like that is what he's aimed at. He's not aiming at taking a fight with a guy that is, has got 6 wins, 8 wins. What good does that do? What good does that do Frank Martin to fight KEYSHAWN Davis? Also, fully understanding what network KEYSHAWN Davis is on with Top Rank. Those guys aren't going to try to make a fight with Frank Martin and KEYSHAWN Davis. They're not going to take that big a chance with KEYSHAWN Davis this early in his career, right? So it was just kind of crazy to me. So Errol Spence Jr. responds to the notion that Terence Crawford is like that, right? And making fun of Errol. And Errol says, yeah, shoot, what you think I'm going to hate? Terence Crawford is like that, right? However, keep working, man. You're not even on our radar. So pretty much just saying, look, KEYSHAWN, I'm not talking about you and fighting Frank Martin. Something that just, to me, I don't get where KEYSHAWN Davis would have gotten that from. If somebody is going to be engaged in disrespecting or calling out fighters in the lightweight division, it's going to be amongst the biggest names in that division. It's going to be Gervonta Davis, right? Like Devin Haney wanting to fight Gervonta Davis, or Lomachenko wanting to fight Devin Haney, or Shakur wanting to fight Devin Haney, or somebody like, Rolly still talking about he wants his rematch with Gervonta, and all of that, right? That's where they're going to be aiming. Like, they're not going to be aiming at a guy that only has 8 fights. So when I was listening to the Instagram thing that KEYSHAWN Davis was doing, KEYSHAWN Davis seemed to even get the logic. Like, why would you be doing that? Why would you have my name in your mouth? Why would you do that? Exactly, KEYSHAWN. Why would he do that? And maybe you should pause for a second and think that he didn't do that, because you're reading into that, a lot into that, right? And we're there. Now, I'm not against people reading into this thing or reading into that thing. It is what it is, right? You think somebody leaves kind of a cryptic message about something, and you've got to figure out exactly what they could be talking about, right? But look, that one was way out in left field. If Errol Spence Jr. puts out, a middle finger right after Terence Crawford says something about Errol Spence, then, that's not much of a leap. Errol gave Terence Crawford the middle finger. But to jump from Frank Martin is like that all the way to why are you attacking me, somebody in KEYSHAWN Davis, that's silly. I mean, he might as well have been talking about old Shaquille Foster at 126 pounds. You know what I mean? I mean, at 130 pounds, that's just as likely. So my thing is, I think that, maybe KEYSHAWN Davis needs to slow down a little bit. Don't put the cart in front of the horse. Or maybe what he's doing is he's trying to do something where, he's trying to get, I don't think it was that calculated, because I listened to what KEYSHAWN was saying. I don't think it was that calculated. But whatever the case is, slow down a little bit, KEYSHAWN. Because ain't nobody talking about you, man. They got a lot of other drama going on at 135 pounds with Ryan Garcia and Gervonta and Devin Haney and Lomachenko and Shakur and even second level guys like Isaac Cruz and Rolly Romero before Errol is going to go out of the way to try to set up a fight with a prospect, right? You should have kind of known that going in. But anyway, that was funny to me. You let me know what you think in the comment section, though. And with that, I'm out. Pieces.